Which is, in your opinion, the theme which keeps the story together in this sequel?
So the story really is about, we pick up with Ralph and Vanellope in the life that we left them in, which is they're the best of friends. And for me, the story is about two best friends from a small town, in this case the arcade, who go to the big city for one reason: to find a part to fix her game. And while in that new big city, the internet, one character, Vanellope, falls in love with it. And the other character just wants to go home. And it really is that challenge to their friendship as to where are they going to end up. And for us, the moral is you have to support each other in your own journey. And that your friendship, if it's real and true, will always be there, even if it means you have to live in separate locations. So for us, it's about supporting your friend's journey.
Okay. Talking about the music of the movie, I sensed a kind of a Tron feel in the scene when they get into the internet.
Yeah.
What about the music in this movie?
So for the music for the internet, we really wanted to create sound that makes it feel modern, right? So our composer, Henry Jackman, is looking both at electronic music, but also bringing in a large orchestra, because it needs to feel big and expansive too, and not just of one note, which electronic music can kind of feel just one sound. So he's really trying to mix the two together, and we've been hearing some early samples of what he's doing, and it's phenomenal, and I think it will really kind of set that world, so we see the difference between the world of the arcade and the world of the internet. The music needs to feel different in those two worlds.
Okay. Some of the princesses in that famous scene with Vanellope were originally hand-animated characters. How did you live this transition from hand animation to CGI?
It was one of the biggest challenges in terms of taking characters that have never been in CG, we've never had models for, and creating them for the first time. And so we did a couple things. One is we're fortunate to still have some people at the studio who worked with those characters originally. So Mark Henn actually animated Jasmine in Aladdin, and he animated Mulan in Mulan, and he animated Belle in Beauty and the Beast in the day. So he was able to work with us directly on all of those characters specifically in terms of bringing them from 2D animation into CG. We also have a woman, Kira Letomaki, who heads up our animation team with a gentleman named Renato Dos Anjos, and she's a huge fan of the princesses. She, as a kid, loved them. So this is her dream, her absolute dream that this would come true. And she's been a really great resource at trying to make sure that we're being very careful in how we portray these princesses in CG.
Yeah, and Ariel has those big Glen Keane eyes.
Yes,
on
yes. Well, and she actually animated, there's that scene where you see, where you saw this morning, where you see her open her eyes big and she kind of, tucks her teeth over her lip. Completely, Kira wanted to capture, she actually animated that scene and she wanted to capture that moment from the original film.
Okay. Often people don't know very well what a producer does. Yeah. Could you describe a typical work day for you?
So really the producer on an animated film is there to help make sure that the director's vision is put up on the screen. So I am with them all day long trying to make sure that everybody is communicating correctly. And when they come up with an idea, it's about how do I get the team to figure out how do we make that idea happen? What do we need to build? How do we need to, what kind of software do we need to create the vision on the screen? There's always complexities to the film, and while they're worrying about the story, I'm worrying about all those other pieces to try to make it all come together to create the movie.